Japanese mafia boss conspired to traffic nuclear materials, says US. Now, I don't know if anybody here is anybody here has also played Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, like I've been recently. This is the plot of the new Yakuza game, which makes this 100 times funnier. I'm not going to waste too much of the game for anyone, but this is the plot. This is actually the plot in the new Yakuza game, which makes me think that somebody actually knows a bit more than they're letting on. But here we've got the guy Takeshi Ebisawa. Also, like that name is kind of similar to one of the antagonists in the game as well, which makes this even funnier. Which is making, it's giving me a big old think. Makes me think it's the same guy, but I mean, he does look pretty badass there with that rocket launcher. US prosecutors have charged an alleged member of the Japanese mafia with conspiring to traffic nuclear materials. But before we get into the video, we have a tasty sponsor, Magic Spoon. We all know that I am a big boy, and to power myself throughout the day, I need my kick of protein. So, to start my day, I look to Magic Spoon to provide me with a high protein breakfast that has no sugar. Magic Spoon is only 140 calories per serving, whilst containing 0 grams of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, and 4 to 5 net grams of carbs. This fits perfectly into my morning routine, and what also helps is the wide selection of flavours. From frosted to peanut butter, Magic Spoon has got you covered with an assortment of flavours, with my personal favourite being the fruity variety, taking me back to my younger days. But with me being all grown up now, Magic Spoon is the perfect option for those childhood-like flavours, but with the nutrition of an adult's breakfast. So whether you just want a high-protein option for breakfast or you're on a keto-based diet, Magic Spoon has got your back. Containing no artificial flavours or dyes, Magic Spoon fills your bowl with cereal that is free from gluten, grains, soy or wheat. So, if you want to grab yourself a box today, click the link down below to grab a variety pack and try it today. And be sure to use promo code Dankula5 at checkout to get $5 off of any order, or go to magicspoon.com/Dankula5. And Magic Spoon is so confident in their product, it's backed with an 100% happiness guarantee. So if you don't like it for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked. So click the link in the description box down below or scan the QR code on the screen and use code Dankula5 for $5 off, or go to magicspoon.com/Dankula5 to save $5 today. Takeshi Ebisawa, 60, tried to sell uranium and plutonium that he believed would be transferred to Iran to build a nuclear bomb, it is alleged. Mr. Ebisawa and a Thai co-defendant were previously hit with weapons and drugs charges in April of 2022. He faces life imprisonment if convicted of the latest charges. US authorities say Mr. Ebisawa, who is being held in a Brooklyn jail, is a senior figure in the Japanese organised crime syndicate known as the Yakuza, with operations in Sri Lanka, Myanmar, Thailand and the US. Now, that whole is a senior figure in the Japanese organised crime syndicate. We'll leave it for the end. The US Department of Justice said Mr. Ebisawa and his confederates showed samples of nuclear materials in Thailand to an undercover agent from the US Drug Enforcement Agency, DEA. It seems like Thailand is a hotbed for DEA activity. There's so many people getting caught in Thailand. The agent was posing as a drugs and weapons trafficker with links to an Iranian general. The nuclear samples, which came from Myanmar, were seized by Thai authorities and transferred to US investigators. A US laboratory confirmed the material contained uranium and weapons-grade plutonium. Prosecutors also alleged that Mr. Ebisawa sought to acquire large quantities of military-grade weapons on behalf of an unspecified rebel group in Myanmar. The weapons included surface-to-air missiles, assault and sniper rifles, machine guns, rockets of various calibers, and a variety of tactical gear. It is chilling to imagine the consequences had these efforts succeeded, and the Justice Department will hold accountable those who traffic in these materials and threaten US national security and international stability. Assistant Attorney General Matthew G. Olden said in a statement on Wednesday. In February 2020, Mr. Ebisawa allegedly contacted the DEA about selling nuclear materials. According to US prosecutors, he explained via encrypted communications that uranium is not good for your health. That's someone paid attention in science. In September that year, Mr. Ebisawa allegedly emailed the undercover DEA agent a letter bearing the name of a mining company. He offered to sell 50 tons of uranium and thorium for $6.85 million. Prosecutors also say he sent photographs showing a dark, rocky material. Shut the hell up, computer. Also sent photographs showing a dark, rocky material with a Geiger counter, which is used to measure levels of radiation. Mr. Ebisawa faces charges including conspiracy to commit international trafficking of nuclear materials, narcotics importation conspiracy, conspiracy to acquire, transfer, and possess anti-aircraft missiles, and money laundering. His co-conspirator in the case is 61-year-old Thai national Sompop. That's not a name. Sompop Singasiri. That's not a name. Shut up. Is facing drugs and weapons charges. The pair will be arraigned in a New York federal courtroom on Thursday. God, I do love the Yakuza games. They do get this mental. However, you know, the Yakuza games, there's an awful lot to do. There's millions of side missions. There's millions of little mini games. There's loads and loads of stuff to complete. Basically, it requires like 3 months of solid 24 hours a day playtime to like platinum the bloody games and everything because it takes that long. I remember the days where I was able to do that. But now, you know, I've got kids, so I can't do that. I need to just nosedive into the mission so that I can get the story. And the story so far, by the way, in Infinite Wealth is very good. I'm on chapter 10. I've just got to the part where Kasuga finds the woman and the girl, and then everything goes tits up. I've just got to that part. But yeah, see the whole smuggling nuclear waste, that is in the game. That's part of the game, which makes this even funnier and all that as well. But another thing that I do think is very important to point out is, this guy's a top dog in the Yakuza underworld. Well, apparently the Yakuza, allegedly, right? Apparently the Yakuza in Japan are all like, who the fuck is this guy? We've never heard of him. Now, of course they would say, he's not one of us. He's got nothing to do with us. But apparently, according to police intelligence, the Yakuza are like, we don't know who this guy is. So maybe he went over saying he was Yakuza and all that so that he had a little bit of clout. Maybe this is just a guy like LARPing, you know, trying to pretend that he's some well-connected big mobster and everything, and he's not. Because apparently even the police in Japan are like, We've never heard of this guy. He's never came up on our radar. So, allegedly, that's the case. So, everyone's kind of scratching their heads as if, like, what the fuck is going on? Maybe the guy's a LARPer. I mean, he obviously has been involved in, like, criminal activities and stuff like that. But as for actually being part of the Yakuza, he might not be. But again, I don't know. This is just what the Japanese media is saying. The guy might not actually have any connections to the Yakuza in any way at all. But still, obviously, as far as, like, you know, smuggling nuclear materials, well, as a libertarian, I should be allowed to have 50 tons of weapons grade uranium in my garage, right? And the government should just kind of like butt out. Yeah, I mean, it's my God-given right to own nukes. Okay. But basically, yeah, I don't know. Basically, so. Yeah, the guy probably was doing it, yeah, and he's been caught. However, whether or not he's actually part of the Yakuza, well, we're really not sure.